welcome back to my channel. Let me take my glasses off and rub my teary eyes. They're so teary today. Ugh. I am so sorry I just did that. I don't even know what I did. I was very tired today. I still am very tired, but mostly it was physical. That sounds dumb. You have to be physical tired. I don't know what I'm saying. Hi. How's everybody doing? I missed you on the vlogs. I feel like we've been just like catching up, Friendmail, shopping, decorating, and I didn't stop by at the vlog channel for a while, so. Hi, vlogsters, welcome. I just have water now because it's the evening. I think I'll be eating soon. It's 5:56. I have been just having like some steamed vegetables for dinner. A couple of nights ago I had steamed vegetables and hummus. Last night I had just steamed vegetables and then fruit. I have my protein shake if I want it, but just like not hungry. Back to being satiated, and I know I have to eat, but look, this brace is so uncomfortable. I'm about to take a 12-hour road trip in the car that I really need to be wearing, and I gotta do what I gotta do. But I just feel very bloated, so I don't today, actually. That's what I was trying to say. I was feeling very bloated. Today I actually showed Jim. I said, oh, look. I said, my belly's got jiggle. It's a good sign. And I said, and my belly button's deep again. Which sounds gross, but it's just a sign to me that things are changing. Tomorrow is weigh day. Let me just get a tissue real quick, because that was an itchy nose. That was not itchy. Was actually drippy. Sorry. And I will wash my hands as soon as I finish with my nose. So, sorry guys, give me a second. So tomorrow's weigh day, tomorrow's shower day. Today was supposed to be shower day, but since I'm taking this road trip, I'm not taking my shower chair with me. I'll just like wash up at Lisa's, you know. I mean, she has a shower stool, but I don't know. I can't really transfer into the shower, so I most likely would not be showering at her house straight up. So I'm gonna like do it last minute, you know. If you don't know, the baby was born beautiful, healthy, gorgeous. Looks just like her sister. It's like, send in the clones. I'm just saying. Baby and mama and sister and dad and papa are doing really good. So I just want to let everybody know that. So I'm excited to go meet her and to see everybody for not the last time, but the visits won't be as frequent, unfortunately, it seems, because not only with the cancer treatment, but with Lisa moving. Like, I'll go with her on some trips to visit, but I don't know that I'll be able to go with her on all the trips, you know? Of course, it's always easier to have somebody with you when you're road tripping, but she's probably also going to want some time just by herself and her kids, too. So we'll see. I mean, we didn't really discuss it, but I just know that it's going to be probably a long time since I head back. Depending, you know, everything is depending. Who knows? I might get an all clear in October and just get right back in the car and head out there. Because anyway, today was a day where I was kind of worried about this road trip, and I'll tell you why. I'm still going, there's no doubt. When you're seeing this, it's probably like the day that I'm leaving. Today's Thursday. I got a video for Friday. This is going up Saturday, and I'm leaving Sunday. So the fact that I'm going, that's beside the point. This morning was one of those things where it was one of those days where having the chemotherapy build up to a point where it made me really tired. Still sat in my chair for hours. I sat in my chair earlier and I went back and laid down for a couple hours, and then I sat in my chair for a couple more hours, which is now, which is great. I actually was just getting ready to get back to bed after dinner, so I figured it was a good time to come and sit. But today was one of those days. I've kind of noticed a pattern, and every time I notice a pattern, I tell you about a pattern, the pattern stops and ceases to exist. So maybe that will happen this time, but I've noticed a pattern. I take my chemotherapy at 5. I don't know if I told you this story already, so if I did, forgive me. I've told so many people this story, I don't know if you're any of them. So I usually take my chemotherapy at 5 a.m., but if I'm up, I'll take it as early as 4:30, that kind of thing. Well, the other day, I kind of noticed a pattern of 8:30. I get tired at 8:30. I take my chemotherapy at 5, and 3.5 hours later, I feel like poopy-doo. I don't know if it's just that's how long it takes to process. Is that like what happens when I finally eat breakfast, like a couple hours? I don't really know why, but I know I ruled out breakfast because I eat breakfast at all different times. So this one day, I was on the commode and I was talking to my aide, and I said, "Is it 8:30 already?" She's like, "No, it's only 7:30." And I was like, "Oh, well, I guess my pattern of every 3.5 hours after I take my chemotherapy is gone out the window." She said, "Well, what time did you take it this morning?" And I was like, at 4. So one day during the beginning of this week, I woke up like 2 o'clock, and I couldn't, for 1:30, I couldn't go back to sleep. I tried. Finally, I felt like I was ready to go back to sleep, and it was 4 o'clock. Like, actually, it was 3:30 by the time I was ready to go back to sleep. And I forced myself to stay awake to take this chemotherapy. Now, you have to take it the same time every day as suggested by your doctor. Of course, if you move to another country, 5 o'clock in the morning is not going to be 5 o'clock in the morning in your body. That's one thing to be said. But what I learned at AHRC was 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after. However, in the hospital, they do an hour before and an hour after. They give you a bigger window. So I was like, you know what? I think if it's good enough the hospital to take it, like, I took it at 4:10 or whatever. It's like, if I could take it at 4:10 in the hospital, that means I could take it at 4:10 now. And I took it, turned my alarms off, and fell right back to sleep. In fact, the only thing that really woke me up is when my aide came. If I'm asleep when she comes in, she gets the stuff settled. She looks at, like, how my night was, and then, like, checks my commode. She's got, like, a little list, like, checks my commode and checks my waters and stuff. And then eventually she wakes me up. She knows I need to rest. I know I need to rest, but I only have her for a few hours a day, so if there's anything I need to accomplish. So she usually very gently taps me and she's like, "Jeri-Ann, hi, I'm here. Do you want to do anything today, or do you want to wake up a little bit and we'll see how the day goes?" So the only reason I woke up that morning is because she woke me up. So I went, I guess, at 7 o'clock. She gets in 6:45, so I think it was probably like 7:15 when she woke me up. And I was on the commode, and I was like, I didn't know what time it was, by the way. But as I play back the story, so I was like, "Is it 8:30? And she's like, "Oh, no, it's only 7:30. I was like, "Oh, okay." So I really don't feel good, and I did this thing, and I was like, "Oh." She was like, "Oh," but I took my meds at 4. So I think it'll be okay at Lisa's house, because I don't think we're going to be planning on doing anything that early in the morning. By the time I'm feeling better, is usually, like, if I fall back to sleep, it's usually around 10:30 or 11 o'clock. I start to really feel like my normal self, or at least not my normal self, but like a better version of me, a better chemo version. So it's like, okay, I think this is doable. I think that this is okay. I think we can do this. And I spend the rest of my day doing whatever it is, and getting up and seeing this and seeing that, and, doing my exercises, doing my physical therapy, cleaning myself up, whatever comes for that day that we didn't handle in the morning, that's when I take care of it. Today it was lunch. Today it was sit up, eat my fruit, eat my lunch. Today I had a little peanut butter with a pear. I've been trying not to eat as much peanut butter, because I did find out that peanut butter could be the cause of most of my problems. which I was originally thinking, nah, it's a grain, it's a plant. Like even the nutritionist is like plant-based, you know, like plants. She's like peanuts are a plant, legumes, you know, legumes are a plant. You know, she was telling me all these things. But then I just happened to like not be Dr. Google or whatever, but I just happened to be like, what could happen if you eat too much peanut butter? And they mentioned weight gain and all these other things, but they also mentioned that it was rough on your digestive system and it makes it work harder and it makes you have all of the symptoms that I have. So today was no peanut butter. Well, not today. No, today I had just the tip of the spoon of the peanut butter. And tomorrow I'm not having any peanut butter. And now when I go to Lisa's house, I'm not going to have any peanut butter. I might have almond butter, like other nut butters, but Lisa does not care for peanut butter. Like Sharon's allergic. It's kind of funny because Sharon's allergic, so I can't eat it when Sharon's here. Lisa really doesn't like it, and neither does my home health aide. Neither one of them stopped me from eating it, but it's really funny that I'm like, I eat it with such vigor and you know, pep. I just eat it so well, and none of them can tolerate it. It's really funny. So good news is Jim likes peanut butter. He just doesn't like the kind of peanut butter I like, which is good for both of us. He likes it with honey roasted nuts. He actually eats his peanuts like honey roasted nuts too, so. I've been going through a lot personally. I know that somebody reached out to me and said that Jim had said on his video that I was going through some things emotional. I was very emotional, a very emotional week. And that is true. It also is been a lot of really outside stressors, not just preparing for this and being anxious about the scans in a few weeks. Now that I'm like, oh, it's a few weeks, you know, at this point. So we have 1 week until the beginning of October. Well, by the time you're seeing this, it's 1 week to the beginning of October, and then I go on the 12th, so it's only like a week and a half. So from yesterday is actually, no, maybe 2 weeks from yesterday. Hold on a second.
In 5 hours.
2 weeks, 5 days, and 5 hours. So just shy of 3 weeks. So it's pretty exciting. It's also nerve-wracking. You know, I'm also preparing myself again. You wish for the prepare for the worst and hope for the best. That's what that's what I'm doing again. Just like before, I am just like preparing like, is it going to be what it is, you know? Hopefully I get some good news and we either get a new brace. Well, if I have to wear the brace, continue to wear the brace, I'm getting a new one. No offense to my brace, but it is really, 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 really much more constrictive than I think it needs to be if we're just protecting my lumbar. Excuse me. And because of where it's hit on my body, where it's caused the rashes, again, that doesn't need to be up there, I don't think. So even if I just have like a, you know, plastic around the waist situation, you know, I still can't bend and do all the things that they want me to do, but we'll see. And as far as my leg is concerned, hopefully he'll be like, oh my gosh, it looks amazing. I can't wait for you to start running and dancing again. So hopefully all my work and physical therapy, hopefully all of my exercises are paying off. They are making me stronger. I feel my stamina. Every day I do more of them. I feel a little bit better about doing them. I lose my breath a little less, that sort of thing. When I walk, I'm not as winded when I walk. I think I still am winded when I go to the bathtub and like but that's really more about the bathtub, like the actual, all the showering and getting in and out of the chair and in and out of the brace. That's a lot. That's not just regular PT. So on shower day, I don't do most of my PT. Sometimes I'll do like, before I get up, I'll do like stand up, sit down and stretches, like stretching the hammies and like, you know, like toe lifts. Did I show those to you guys? I can't remember if that was in the video, but I basically am supposed to stand on my tippy toes and then stand on my tippy toes and then back down, stand on my tippy toes and back down. Do that like for 2 sets of 20. So I'll sometimes do that just to warm up my muscles for the walk to the shower and all the stuff it takes to get into the shower. But as far as like being aerobic or doing like arms and stuff, it's like I know that those are going to get worked out doing the shower. And I'm not a normal, obviously this isn't a normal case. This is a normal thing that happens to people like me. You know, I seriously just watched this video and I shared a post on my community page, which doesn't expire. I found a friend actually suggested, actually it was Margaret. Margaret suggested this video about, her name is, I just said Jenny, and I wanted to say Rose, but that's not what it is. It's Jenny. Yeah. Jenny Rand? No. Anyhow. I'm so sorry. That's terrible, but it's just, that's the way the brain goes. I posted it like, I don't know, 2 hours ago, so it wasn't even that long ago. She had, the immunotherapy almost killed her. So she had a really extreme reaction. The same sorts of things that happened to me, but obviously different parts of her body because they were affected differently. Plus, she had that reaction after just one dose of her immunotherapy. It's a different immunotherapy than I'm on, or was on. But I was so able to relate to everything she was going through in a way. I don't have children, so she was talking about missing her children. And this happened last year during COVID, like where it was like her kids couldn't even come visit her at the hospital. So I had a lot of similarities. Obviously, she didn't have any wound, like she didn't have any metastases. She didn't have her leg broken and that sort of thing that goes along with it. She didn't have the spinal stuff, but the whole immunotherapy, back rash, the blistering, the peeling skin, the mouth, the mucositis down your throat, all in your mouth, all on her lips. I really felt like somebody else knows what the heck I'm talking about. And she didn't post this video all that long ago. I kind of almost feel like, did she say, oh, this lady posted the story about her immunotherapy? Like, not that she has any idea who I am. But I don't know if it was like, you know, maybe somebody said, hey, have you thought about this? Because there's not that many people out there. I don't know. But it's pretty amazing. She's pretty amazing. And, you know, I wanted to shut down how people are like, oh, you know, when you have cancer, you don't gain weight, you lose weight. And of course, medications, they give you medications to put gain weight on, or you're sometimes on medications that make you gain weight. So, you know, everybody's story is different. That's what she said. She was like, for me, my cancer, this is what happened to me, and this was my story. And I was like, wow. She's like, my cancer. She's like, I know other people have the same diagnosis, but me, every cancer is individual. And I was like, preach. That is what I've needed to say the entire time. Everybody's cancer is different. Everybody's cancer is unique. You can have two exact people that have the same stage 4 renal cell carcinoma that only metastasize to their bones, and every single thing will be different. How they react to chemotherapy, how they react to the immunotherapy, how their side effects are, whether their bones break or not, whether they lose gain or weight gain or gain weight or lose weight or have mucositis or don't. Everything is different, no matter how much your similar diagnosis is and the same type of cancer. The person's stories, every story is individual, which I think is just fantastic. I really do. I think it's just a fantastic thing to keep in mind when you're trying to help somebody go through their journey. I'm trying to help people go through their journey. And the most important thing that I can tell you is get a support system, whether it's in person or over the internet. Obviously, trust your medical team, but that's beside the point. But get a support system. Know that your cancer is different. And it will look different in you. It will look different in you, but there are people who do the similar thing. So get a support system. Realize that everybody's journey is different. Don't think, oh, well, my cousin had the same breast cancer, so I know that she had this medicine and her hair fell out and then she was sick and then she had to get a breast cut off after all. Well, that doesn't mean that's what's going to happen to you, even if you're related to each other. My sisters are sisters. They are 2 years apart and grew up in the exact same environment until they were in their teens or late teens, and they both had very, very different types of thyroid cancer. It affected them both differently. They both have different treatment plans. They both had different surgeries. So just to give you an idea, those are people who share 50% of their DNA, and it's still very, very different. So I think that's one of the most important things that I can tell people is get a support system, rest, follow your doctor's instructions, and don't compare yourself to other people. Don't compare your journey to others' journeys. Don't compare your cancer to other cancers. Don't compare your cancer journey to other people with the same exact cancer journey. Just do what's best for you and do what works for you. Listen to your body. I am very fortunate that I work from home. I know that with stage 4, I probably wouldn't be able to work out, and then especially my type with the broken bones and stuff, I most definitely know I wouldn't be able to work out in the community anymore if I had. But there are people who go through stage 3 and stage 2 cancer, and they are still productive members of society. Actually, and I'm not saying that I'm not a productive member of society. I didn't mean to say that to anybody who's on disability at all. But I just meant that's what we consider, somebody who works out in the community. There is Katie Kicks Keto. She's the first person that I found who had kidney cancer. And she has a way different type of kidney cancer. Hers is extremely rare, only metastasized to her liver. Mostly only. She had a couple of nodes, but mostly just metastasized to her liver. She had a very rare form of it and then had very, very special treatment at the NIH, which is the National Institute of Health in Washington, D.C. And she still works. She works. She is a programmer. She's like she codes. What does she work on now? She's sharing her journey in 60-second bits, I think 60 seconds at a time. And she says her line is, welcome to my journey as I'm going to tell you my story as you watch me code for bringing a medical trials app to life, basically. So that's what she's doing now. And not everybody gets that opportunity. She is NED, I think, right now, too, because they not only did this extra special treatment on her liver tumors, but they removed her kidney. I mean, there's just a lot of, it's so different. And she had stage 4, and she still has stage 4 because you never come not from having stage 4. She just NED, which is no evidence of disease. So everybody's story is different. And I know this because last Wednesday of every month is the support group on Zoom. I wasn't able to go last month because I did not feel good at all. But hopefully this month I'll be able to. And we are in a Zoom room with 12, 9, 10 people who are all experiencing very different things. Also some similar things, but very different things. And we have the person who leads the group, and she had her kidney cancer in, I wanted to say in the 90s, the early 90s, and she had a very different treatment than they have now. And I think that it's people like her who actually helped pioneer the things that they know now. We stand on the backs, not only the backs of old researchers and old doctors, but we stand on the back of previous patients. Doctors learn from their patients. My doctor, for example, told me, he said, I personally have never had to stop a treatment plan because of side effects. So he's like, this is new territory for me. And I really appreciated his honesty. I love him to pieces. He still did suggest again if I wanted to see a specialist, and I may when I go into the city on the 12th of October, which I know is coming up, but I might do that just to see if there's any outside of the box treatment. But I love him for that. I love him for being honest with me and saying, look, everybody is so different that he's been doing this for X number of years, and this is the first time he's had this problem. Now, that being said, I wanted to jump back into the Jenny that I just found. Jenny Apple. Ta-da! I found it. I remember. How could I forget Jenny Apple? I don't know. Anyway, Jenny Apple she was on oral steroids to help all of her stuff, all of her inflamed esophagus, and she was on major pain patches for all of her pains. And like I said, she got blisters on her feet, and I actually wrote in my comment to her that I was so grateful that I couldn't walk, because I probably would have had blisters on my feet. The fact that I was in bed because of my back sores kind of probably saved me from other things, don't you think? So it was just one of those things. I was like, you know, everybody has their own journey. I can't go, excuse me, sorry. I can't go on oral steroids because of the type 2 diabetes, plus other things. But that's something, a treatment plan that she was able to have for the same kind of condition that I had. Hers was more severe. My dermatologist actually said, normally we would put somebody on oral steroids for this. Topical will just take longer to heal. Of course, that's one of the reasons why it's taken me forever. But I almost wish, like, couldn't you have just, like, put me in the hospital for like 10 days to give me treatment and just watch my blood sugar? I'm telling you, I don't know. So anyhow, I feel like today's vlog is just like a bit of catch up, a bit of what's going on, and a bit of today is just like, you know, and I'm still sitting up and I'm still doing the things. I got my back changed already, which we've been doing earlier and earlier every day, because I kind of feel like when we go to Texas, Lisa's going to have to change my back, and I think I'm going to have her change it like when we get dressed and go out for the day, whatever we're going to do. So, and I don't know how much of that we're even going to get to do. I do have my new walker. I don't think I told you guys about it yet, but I actually got a walker yesterday. And when I went to go put the cover on it, the front of the seat was broken. Like, it was like the bar that's here and the seat goes like this, and it was just collapsed. And I was like, okay. So I called them back, and they were like, oh, we're sorry. If the delivery guy's out, we'll have him bring you a new one. And it's really funny, because as my aide was helping me put the cover on, I was like, oh, there was all these like dings in the seat, you know. And I was like, oh, you know. And then I went and noticed that the seat was bent. And when he came back today, I said, do I need to go check to make sure it's all good? He goes, no, this one's brand new. So the one you brought me yesterday wasn't. That's when it didn't click, because he came at about the time I was waking up. Actually, I think him and Mom woke me up. That's exactly what happened, because it was like around 11 o'clock, 11:30. And, oh, I'm going to go. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. We had a bestie emergency. Not really an emergency, but when a bestie needs to talk, you gotta be available. That's the rules of being besties. So I was getting ready to wrap it up anyway, but I was like, I don't think I want to say goodbye in that last 2 seconds. But I'm trying to think if I actually was in the middle of something. When I go to play back, I will find if there was something in the middle of it. And if something I just need to finish a couple of words, then I'll put it on the screen. Otherwise, I'll add it to the next vlog. And I ask for forgiveness. Just forgiveness. I love you. If nobody's told you today you're loved, please always come by and hear how much I love you. Because I do in abundance. I have so much love, compassion, understanding, just admiration, and I'm so grateful that you're all here. So thank you. I mean it, truly. And as always, you guys, take care. God bless. And we'll see you next time. Bye. Meow.